nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all. It's your buddy Big Johnny G, the Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. Inspiring Games brings us a title that I had to put on gaming radar. Legends Untold, The Weeping Caves Novice Set. This is a game for 1 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, and should take you about 60 minutes to run. Legends Untold is a cooperative card-based adventure game for 1 to 4 players. Play an in-depth adventure game with your friend in about an hour. Small setup time, 0 downtime, and a lot more than just finding the next monster to bash. Intelligent game mechanics that rely on the party working together to overcome foes, traps, obstacles, barriers, NPCs, and more. Build your hero from a wide choice of talents, weapons, outfits, and kit. Scout the depths of the cave with more environments to come. Building a map between locations as you uncover the threats within. 8 scenarios included, with a wide range of objectives unlocking the story of your heroes and their tales to become legends. Uses 3 6-sided dice to resolve tests, but more importantly, the entire party working together. Multiple ways to defeat each obstacle, barrier, or trap with different rewards for each. Use your talents and equipment and work as a team. Risk-reward mechanics for talking to NPCs and deciding if you're going to push your luck and end up angering them. Cooperative mechanics for combat, including assisting each other in combat, morale, and defeating complex foes. Okay, that sounds really exciting. It sounds exactly the way it should, right? Because this is a fantasy-based game. But this is more than that. Now, this came to my attention through some Facebook groups that I'm a member of, and I hadn't heard of this title before. I think it's been on the market now for sale for about a year, maybe, and its Kickstarter was a couple of years before that, which obviously was successful. So I'm very happy that this did get to my attention. So as soon as I heard of RPG-inspired style card game, fantasy-based, for 1 to 4 players, or double that if you have the other core game. There's a standalone expansion. It's a core game. You can get either one that you want and play off of it 1 to 4 players, or both of them together. You can play up to 8. This is perfect. You could play it solo. You could play it with groups. It plays a little bit differently. And it's going to immerse you in this world that they've created from the ground up. Another thing I enjoyed is the fact that this is a tile-laying game. Well, a card, right? The cards are the tiles. Tile-laying game. And I do enjoy the tile-laying games because of the vast variety of possibilities that they give you. But with most tile-laying games, it's rather static, right? To the length of the width side. And they're usually pretty even, or maybe some of them will do half cards. But this goes beyond that. There's corners cards, there's angles cards, and it uses this, I haven't seen this before, this sort of unique system of when you're putting the tiles down, the card tiles down the map, you have to line it up with the lighting. You see, because some tunnels are in the dark, some are in the light, and some are in the shaded area, gray areas in between. So obviously you can't leave one map section that's in the bright light that automatically opens up into darkness. That doesn't make sense. And they considered that, and they added that into the whole system of the map, the tile, the card laying, the map creation aspect of this game. And I really liked that. That was a nice touch. You know, as I was learning about this game, another thing that caught my attention, and until I get a chance to play this, I'm not going to know if this is true or not, but the feeling, the sensation that I got reading about this, watching videos about this, it made me feel like Legends Untold is kind of like a souped up card-based version of an endless quest book. You know, the books TSR came out with in the 80s to compete with the Choose Your Own Adventure. It feels to me there's something reminiscent between that and this. And of course, I'm a classic fantasy gamer. Got my teeth on Mold Vase basic set. So you want to give me a game that is going to have all the classic tropes, the NPCs that you're dealing with, the traps, ambushes. It's going to feel Gygaxian to me. So how could that not catch my attention? You know, and as you heard me say in the publisher description at the beginning of this video, they claim, or they brag, as I would like to put it, there's no player downtime. Now, I have played games where there's no player downtime, or so little, you can call it no player downtime. And I've also played games that advertise that, and it doesn't feel that way. So I'm really hoping that what they say is true, because if that is true, if there's no, or so little you can say no and still feel honest about it, if there's no player downtime, I mean, that's amazing, because that's one of the things that really slows down games, especially when you have a game that, you know, hits 5 players or breaks that number. And this, if you have both sets, plays up to 8. So normally you would stop and think to yourself, I would never play an 8-player game because of downtime. But they're telling us that it doesn't exist, and that setup time is just a couple of minutes, and breakdown time is almost non-existent. So you can get this to the table, you can play it fast, it plays under an hour. And apparently the rules are fairly light enough that apparently from what I've been reading, they are very easy rules and they kind of make sense and flow. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. Another thing, as it's mentioned in the publisher description in the beginning, is the way you're setting the characters up. It does give you that character creation feel that all RPGers love. Now, of course, this isn't completely from scratch, but they're giving you the opportunity to customize, personalize these characters that you're going to have and that are going to grow just like RPG characters. So they're going to grow throughout the adventure. Now, I'm no mathematician, but according to the publisher, there's over 360,000 different map combinations. So you add that to the multiple ways that you can make and personalize your player character. Wow, this game does definitely feel like it should have a ton of replayability. And as I mentioned, there's also the expansion in the sewers. So more characters, more adventures, more traps, more NPCs, more obstacles, more story. How are you going to have time to play it all? So easy to play, easy to set up, apparently easy to teach, and everything about this game. And it's well supported. Besides the standalone expansion, there's also a couple of booster packs that you can bring into the game. So the company is very supportive of this title. So all these things together totally caught my attention, and I find this to be completely worthy to be on the official gaming radar. And I think it should be on yours too. Go look up Legends Untold. You'll find out very cool things about the game, more things that I've told you here within these like 10 minutes or so. And if you're a fantasy gamer, you enjoy that genre in your board and card games and dice games, I think this game is going to offer you something that's going to catch your attention as well. So please, go check out, by Inspiring Games, Legends Untold, the Weeping Caves Novice Set. Or the Sewers Novice Set. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm your buddy Big Giant G for Two Gun Pixie Presents Legendary Gaming, and my friends, I am out of here.